Modo, you're big MRMWRW Mafia. Come vibe with the tribe. Kirby, what up, though? I'm breaking it down, ground. I'm working my way up. You a way stuck, get your weight up. You're looking for pay, cuz I want all of my peoples to wake up. Sleep, Frank Ocean, deep, peak. There's not a method the weak. Fools, choose. I'm making a break of the rules. Fools, choose. It's the I'm busting the moves. I woke up like this, blessed. Everything else just a test. Stress was created for thinking the less. I'm with the gods, yes. Fact, me and Kirby finessing the beat. 10 toes, M.R.M. we reppin' the street. I am the chief, this is the tribe. I ended the different electrical side. Come get you a vibe. This is my land, is my only reply.
Yeah, G, what up? Yeah. Bag in my bag, no book for the papers. Ain't got time for my bitch, cause I'm running up papers. Just like that I keep the flavors, from the lows to the highs. Make my niggas elevating. Say you got motion, but you niggas just talk. Big dog in the yard, and you bitches just balk. Look me in my eyes, say it with your chest when you talk. Boys do what they can, and men do what they want. Break that shit down, half O's to the pounds. Put my thoughts to action, Jackson's niggas like the stunt of different fabric. Magic happen, pulling rabbits out of hat. Trick you out to life, Houdini, Lord Janie couldn't bring it back. Niggas be capping, say whatever when they rapping. Tell your life story, and what really fucking happened. I can see clearly now that the rain is gone. Actions to my words, you can see me here when they play my song. Forever do the man. And Ladybug, yeah, love is love. Loyal to my children, family first, and putting my heart in every verse.
Shout out to my brother Kirby, man. Yo, what's the vibes, tribes? This is I Can't Make This Shit Up podcast with myself, Big Chief, not the little one, GeeDaStarFlower, melanated god of love. And this is something I haven't done in a minute, a long time. A segment of my show called Making It Make Sense. That's when we tap in with a lot of what needs to be tapped in with when it comes to the mindset and things that are being thrown right directly in front of our face from those who so claim to be the higher, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying. So, making it make sense. My topic tonight is the system. Whose system? You hit me. And y'all heard me speaking about the fact that, a lot of people speak on breaking the system, but this system been running for so long, it's going to be hard to just break it. So for right now, you can use the system to create your own, if that makes sense to anyone. It makes a lot to me. I'm doing it. I'm not just speaking these things. I'm doing these things that I'm speaking. I created a system within the system, but there is still a system. Okay. And that system can still affect a lot of what you're trying to do, especially when you're someone who's chosen as myself, and you have a clear understanding of certain things, like you're walking in your truth, you standing 10 toes on this shit. A lot of punches are going to be thrown your way. Like, you know how they say you have to have tough skin, to deal with certain people or certain situations. Yes. Being in the spiritual world, the real spiritual world, those who are truly woke. Yes. You have to have tough skin and be able to bob and weave, or take a couple of them,
spit that shit out and keep it moving. You hear me? It's a learning process. You hear me? You're supposed to learn from those situations. Apply whatever you need to apply and keep it moving. Now continue. You hear me? The system. Whose system? Create a system within the system. But we're going to speak about the system. Okay? And I tell y'all all the time, I only speak based off of experiences. So these are things that I'm experiencing within the life that I chose to live. So I have to speak on that, you know? Now, this is nothing against the people, okay? That's I guess a part of the system, because they're still within the programming, so they don't have an understanding of what's going on because they've been a part of that for so long. Like I said multiple times, things become normal. So, you know, people do things that they don't think is wrong, you know, again, because it's been going on for so long, it became normal. This is the normal way of life. No, the fuck is not, you know, the system. Okay. You know, there's many strategies that they have, you know, and within their system, you know, and all of these plot strategies or whatever, I don't even know what label to put on it, but you know, they've created a lot of ways to destroy our culture of people, you know, and like the benefits as far as the government and things like that. You know, they use that to control our women for surely. You know what I'm saying? And there's only one situation I can speak about personally when it comes to that, and that's child support. And I'm definitely going to tap in on that, you know, because that's something that's affected me personally. You know, only speak based off of experiences and, you know, the jobs as well. What up? Damn, I could tackle three of them, right? The job, the child support, and the schooling. So I could tackle three of them tonight, you know, based off of experiences, you know. So with the child support situation, me personally, you know, my son is upstairs right now. I'm in my own home. You know, I've came a long ways from who I once was, but I don't need to piggyback on that in order to speak on this. You know, those who know me really been tapped in with me for a long time, like day one shit. You know, y'all know Jeezy always been A1 with his kids. I always had my kids around. Point blank period. There's no one who can deny that shit, you know? Um, so now it's a situation where, all right, got it together. I'm doing what I need to do, speaking my life into existence. I'm placing everything in place, you know, or putting everything in place. Let me rephrase that. Because I've already planted my own seeds as well, you know, which is my three businesses. And, you know, I'm just doing what I got to do in order to push forward with that, right? And this individual went back down child support. Mind you, my child support case been closed. I should have never been on child support. I was on child support since 2010. That's 2011, that's 15 years. Damn. That's crazy. That's 15 years. I don't even know why I couldn't have just did the math off the rip with that. My apologies. I'm not stupid at all, y'all. I promise y'all I ain't. But that's 15 years that I've been on child support, right? The whole time that I was on child support, either I was living in the household, the same household as my children, or they were living with me. You know, it was only a small timing within the timing that they were with this other individual, and it wasn't a long time at all. It doesn't add up to the timing of being with me. Let me just say that, you know. And regardless of what, even when it was on that side, I was still in the picture. It never was a time where I was not in the picture and in connection with my children daily. You hear me? And I mean that when I say daily. And they can vouch for this themselves. You hear me? So, okay, cool. Now I'm in a situation where life is, lifing, and I got things going the way that I have it going. My son lives with me. You know what I'm saying? But this individual has ran back down child support and reopened a case that was closed. Okay. Now, that would make sense if this dad who that case was on was still doing the same things, which is not providing for the children, which that never was a case in my case. I can really get deep into this shit and y'all be like, whoa, okay. But anyway, it would make sense then, but that's not the case with me. My child lives with me, and been living with me for a minute, but yet this weak ass system, right, who's in controlling and trying to bring us men down, that's the whole part of their system, right? They allowed this shit, knowing that my child lives with me. I've been sent documents and showing that this is what it is. But yet y'all still allow that to happen, knowing near one of my children is with this woman and have not been with this woman in over 5 years. Right? But y'all sitting here taking money from me to send to this woman for child support, but yet the child is not in her presence. How does that make sense? Y'all gonna have to explain this to me. Like, seriously, can I have a conversation with you motherfuckers? Can we talk about it? Am I able to, So, like, a person, a female, right? A female can just run down there and say, hey, this is what I want to do, bop, 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 on this person, give a name, and that's it. Y'all don't have to go into details, asking questions about this person or with this person, or like, you don't have to show any type of proof of what this woman is saying. Y'all don't have to do that. All you have to do is go down there and say, I want to do this, and that's it. Like, so you don't even know if the children may be with that woman or not. Like, you just, okay, this is what you're doing. Let's do it. That's it. What? Y'all don't investigate certain shit? Like, that's crazy. And like I said, I'm only speaking based off of experiences. This is my experience from this shit, and I'm seeing clearly what the fuck it is. Fuck is y'all talking about? Huh? Y'all. The thing is, the system that has been created, it was always to take full control of the women. Why? Because the women are the true leaders, but you're never going to be able to reach that level of knowing these things because you're under the controlling of them, even when you feel as though you're not. You are. Y'all have to really do some deep healing. You hear me? And get some clear understandings before y'all able to sit on that high chair and understand who the fuck you really are, But, for the most part, a lot of our women goddesses chooses to accept that shit, And that's what's bringing us down. That's the reason why we're unable to build as a unit, as a collective, with the like-minded individuals. Who are these like-minded individuals? Because ain't none of you motherfuckers minds like mine. Fuck is you talking about? Huh? Who are these like-minded individuals that we supposed to be building with? Where are you at? I'm out this bitch on some Where's Waldo type shit. Fuck is you talking about? Now, this is not directed to any of my brothers and sisters, the gods and goddesses that I'm personally tapped in with. This has nothing to do with the tribes, the tribe and the tribes, because I have my own tribe that I created, and there's brothers and sisters who's a part of that. You hear me? I'm doing the work that needs to be done within self and within this world. You hear me? Even me using my voice right now is me doing the work. Fuck is y'all talking about? The system. Whose system? And I really have to point. You feel it? Directly in your face when it comes to my goddesses, our women. I ain't gonna say my goddesses because they ain't, my goddess is my goddess, but our women. I have to point the finger directly in y'all's face because y'all are allowing this shit to happen. Even the women that work for the system, you know what I'm saying? Y'all taking part of what's going on. Like by allowing these women to come down there and do and say certain things, and then y'all just throw this man or these men in that situation, not even knowing the full details of the situation. That is crazy to me. I would love to speak to Trump personally. Just about this situation, because he's passing a lot of laws and he's doing a lot, I don't hate nor do I like. I just have an understanding of what that brother is doing. Love is love, but I would love to speak to him personally or someone with an office, whatever, so I could present this to them. Because my story is different when it comes to this shit, I've never sat around crying about this shit. I've never spoke about this shit, never went live, never did a segment on my show, topics, nothing. And this is what's really going on. You hear me? These people are taking money out of my pocket for child support for a child that's living with me. So how does that make sense? Is it child support or it's bum chick support? I'm sorry. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. Love is love. Is it child support or it's bum bitch support? Because I feel like I'm taking care of a bum. I don't feel like I'm taking care of a child because the child is with me. It has to make sense. Let's make it make sense. I cannot make this shit up. I cannot make this shit up. I wish I was. I wish I were making this shit up, but I'm not. This is what's going on. I am living proof of this. You hear me? And this shit ain't right. And it has to change. It's going to change. I promise y'all this. My story may be the story behind this shit changing. Because there's a lot of brothers out here that's going through the same exact shit as me without even knowing it. Without even knowing it. My women, my goddesses, I love y'all to death. Please, I don't care how mad you may be at that brother for him not doing his part. Maybe y'all had children at a young age and he didn't know how to be a father. Maybe he wasn't taught how to be a man. We don't know. Like, you got to look at people's upcomings to have an understanding of why they move or act the way that they do. People were not taught certain things in their lives for them to understand how they're supposed to treat you, your child, the mama, whoever. People were not taught these things. People didn't grow up in the same type of households as you. Where they had real mamas, real dads, real big mamas, real grandfathers within the picture where they learned something from them, being family orientated, knowing what real love consists of. I know these things. That's why I'm able to present myself the way that I do. I'm speaking. Well, the ancestors are speaking through me. Love is love. You hear me? I tell people all the time, when we speak, when we choose to use our voices, whatever we're presenting out here should be based off of our experiences of the life that we chose to live. That's why people are still repeating cycles. Y'all don't even fucking get it. Like, I'm not even speaking to those within the program world. The program world is the program world. I'm talking about those who be trying to jump over into the spiritual world, but yet y'all doing the same exact thing these motherfuckers are doing within the program world. Y'all are continuing cycles as well. Fuck is y'all talking about? You're not reading your own book to the universe. You're not doing that. You're not waking your people up by reading your own book. That is not what y'all doing. Y'all are continuing to follow a program outside of the program. And there's multiple of those, you know, people taking on these groups and joining these cults and, you know, what? I ain't even gonna speak on the names of these people, but, you know, y'all taking on that type of shit, following these master teachers and things like that. Like, what? Don't you know you are? But of course, they say you have to be a student before being a teacher. I totally agree with that. But guess what? Who is your teacher? My teacher is the universe, which should be every last one of y'all teachers. If you're truly spiritually woke, your teacher should not be anyone outside of the universe, because the universe is going to send you everything you need. As long as you're doing the work within self or on self, trust me, everything is going to land directly on your desk. And that's what you're supposed to move with. That information that lands directly on your desk, that the universe sent directly to you. But you have to be tapped completely in with the universe in order to receive these things. Doing the grounding, the sun gazing, the meditations, you know, or whatever else work you try to you choose to do. You know, I practice breath work. I practice a lot. It's a lot of the work that I'm practicing without even knowing that I'm doing it. You know, I don't even know that I'm doing it until I see something or something to come across my path based off of whatever that is. And then I'll be like, damn, I was doing that the whole time and shit without even knowing. Big facts. So, you know, just do the work within self and everything else will come about. I promise y'all. I'm speaking based off of experiences. My topic tonight is based off of experiences. The system. Whose system? I created a system within the system, but yet there's still a system that's moving consistently, daily, and it's controlling our people. Fuck is y'all talking about? I'm not mad at them. I'm mad at you for allowing this shit. Fuck is you talking about? You're taking place within this shit. You have a seat. Do you get that part? Hmm? I spoke yesterday on the so-called Father's Day about it being more trifling women out here than there are men. There are more deadbeat women out here than there are men. I promise y'all that. And that's not just based off of my situation personally. I'm just thinking on multiple situations that I've seen with my own eyes when it comes to these women and how they treat their children, the baby fathers, and all of that. Like, I've witnessed a lot when it comes to this, you know. So I have a clear understanding of what the problem is, you know. And I don't blame these individuals personally. I blame their upcoming, those who raised them, you know, that didn't teach them. Then I can't even really blame them because they may not have been taught. So it's like it's a repeated cycle of people that have not been taught. They don't know these things, right? When I say I'm here to break chains and break cycles, man, that shit is deep. That shit hits. What? So I'm here to speak to those who don't know and those who know. Ooh. I'm here to speak to those who don't know and those who know. Let's jump into the school system. There was a situation today, right, with my son. You know, I could go back a little, right? You know, since he's been going down, mind you, this is a new area for him. You know, the schools are different. You know, it's mixed. racist of people, you know what I'm saying? And he loves it. Don't get it twisted. He loves it. The people at the school love him. You know, it was just one, I believe, you know, that had whatever issues, whatever, you know, whenever. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to speak against that person or whatever. You know, I'm just saying the situation as a whole, it just seems crazy to me. It doesn't resonate. It doesn't sit right with me, or whatever words y'all choose to use. It doesn't sit right with me at all, you know. So I received a message from, you know, um, the principal, vice principal, I believe, yeah, the vice principal, about a situation today, and basically saying that he was cursing everybody out and things like that. You know, me knowing my son, they come from me. They are not disrespectful. I did not raise them to be disrespectful kids. So if something did cause him to get to that level, obviously, so because I know for a fact something had to cause him to get to that level if he chose to present that type of energy. You know what I'm saying? We don't just spaz out for nothing. We don't. That's my son. These are my children. I know them. I've been around since day one. So, you know, it ain't like we just presenting that type of energy off the rip. No, that's not what it is. You know, but so that was the case. So she hit me and said that, all right, I reached straight out to him. Day, what happened? You know, he's basically telling me that he got sent to the office because the teacher didn't like his face expression. I said, what? Face expression? When did people start getting in trouble for their face expressions? The way that they choose to look. You have all rights to look however you want to look. Now saying something disrespectful out your mouth, that's a different story. But looking a certain type of way, you cannot do anything to anyone or complains, whatever. No, for them looking a certain type of way. You're not in control of someone's actions. Like I don't get that part. So that didn't sit right with me at all. At all. But anyway, you know, now my son is unable to attend his graduation tomorrow because of this situation. And it kind of upsets me because, mind you, even though I have a clear understanding of the system, the school system, all of that, right? Okay, I had these talks with my children already when it comes to the schooling. You know, they know what is and what ain't. You hear me? Point blank, period. I don't have to go into details about this. But, you know, at the end of the day, while being there, you know, I wanted them to experience the things that I wasn't able to experience during my years of attending school. Like I always wanted to go to a prom, you know, things like that. You know, the graduation, the walking across the stages and all of that. You know, I wanted to do that and I could have done that. I didn't fail classes because I was a stupid kid or I didn't know the work or do the work. I failed classes because I was a bad kid. I was one of the smartest kids in my classes. Every class. I was very good in math. Math was my favorite subject. Like I was one of those, you know, but I had a very bad anger issue. And that came from, you know, when my dad passed away, then when my grandmother passed away, that made it even worse. But anyway, you know, a lot came behind that. So that's the energy that I was delivering in school, you know, which knowing what it is now, I don't even really feel too bad about it, you know, for real, you know. But I've never witnessed any situations like that or heard of anyone ever being in trouble in school for their face expression. So that didn't sit right with me, you know, at all. And I ain't even gonna go into a lot with this, you know, because you know people do watch, and I don't want anyone to think that I'm just attacking them or whatever the case may be. It's just certain situations that just don't sit right with me, you know, and I'm going to speak on that, you know, because I know that it makes sense to a lot of other people outside of self, you know, and people may be going through the same shit right now. and don't even have nobody that they can talk to about it, because everyone's so programmed, that when you say certain shit to them, they looking at you like you stupid. Like, what? You didn't know that? Like, what? Oh, what are you talking about? You accept that? Like, okay. You got to watch the people you choose to surround yourself around, because you could be surrounded by a bunch of weirdos, a bunch of programmed individuals that still point the finger at you and having conversations behind your back, making everybody feel like you're the crazy one, or something's wrong with you. You're weird because you speak and think and act outside of the programming. So you're gonna have a lot of those around, you know. But and then you got this, the job situation, which I label jobs as the slave ship, and that's no disrespect to anyone who has their own businesses. I'm just speaking based off of my experiences, things that I've seen, and been through within my journey. And I definitely label jobs as the slave ship. That's why it's not meant for everyone to just work for other people. It's a lot of us that have very good talents that we should be displaying to the universe or presenting to the universe, building off of that, whatever gifts we have and things like that. Nobody should be working for someone for the rest of their life. Like, you can work to start off, and try to accumulate some money to invest into what you really want to do in life, which is your own business or whatever the case may be. No problem with that, at all. Because, bills do have to still be paid. It's still a system that's being ran. Even though, like I said, I created a system within the system, but there's still a system. And we're able to, get past that, because I'm not going to say break, until we're able to take over, or I can get deep into it. It is what it's going to be until that time comes. And this is just my personal feelings towards all of this. I'm not saying this for everyone to move how I move, act how I act, speak how I speak, go about it the way I go about it. It's not meant for you to. It's only meant for me to. But if certain shit makes sense to you, apply it to yours and keep it moving. I promise you, life will be a lot more better. That's how deep shit is, y'all. I still got my work shit on. I got off at 4 hours ago. I still got my work clothes on. I just had it on my mind a lot, you know, because it's like when we could take a lot, which, those who are chosen, right? We could take a lot of punches. Like, we don't even feel them shits. I've reached a certain level, a higher level of self where, I don't even feel them. Boom, right in the face. God damn, somebody would have been knocked out, but it's like, I don't even feel them. It ain't even there. Who did that? Who whispered at me? Whatever, So I take a lot of them because I'm becoming a more powerful me. You know what I'm saying? And, I was just having a conversation with my sis earlier, and I was speaking about that. Like, we have powers without you even knowing. Like, if you're able to control certain things, that's powerful. Especially if it's something that you are unable to control for a very long time, but now you can. That's a power, because when you start being able to control everything all around the board, as far as yourself, and choosing not to give a reaction to that action, or change your words towards that, or give a lot of positive energy towards that negative energy, and see the results you get behind that, things like that. That's powerful. It takes a lot of power for you to do these things, and I'm doing these things. So I've became a more powerful version of self. Straight up. So, you know, when they talk about doing the work within self and this, that, and the other, or just doing the work, period, you know, it's deeper than just, you know, trying to bob land. Because, you know, a lot of these brothers and sisters, that's all they speak about, you know. And my sister was just telling me about a situation that she had. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this shit weird. Like, people really feel that way? Okay. But, a lot of these people, these brothers and these sisters, and I get it. I ain't got nothing against them wanting to get the land back and, you know, do this, do that at the same. But at the end of the day, it's like, if you're not doing the work within self, on self, you know, you're not really doing any work at all. And then it's like, okay, if it do get to a point where we all start doing this and doing that, and we buying back the land and everything is what it's supposed to be, you still have programmed individuals running around out here, and it's a lot more, a lot more of them than they are us, you know. So if the mindsets have not changed of the people within the world, how will we change the world? We are the world. Don't let that go over your head. Michael Jackson said, "We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones that make a better place." Y'all better stop playing. Long live Mike. Fuck is y'all talking about? That brother then came out with a lot of songs that make so much sense, but yet you wasn't listening. I wasn't listening, but I hear it now. It was installed into me then, and I hear it now. Ooh, wow. It was installed into me then, but I hear it now. Okay. Love is love. But, you know, they were three different, you know, situations that I've experienced within the last 30 days that, you know, I'm not even going to say it's affecting me because it's not. You know, I'm going to, this is a Mike Tyson fight for me. Mike Tyson versus Holyfield out this bitch. I'm Mike, they Holyfield. We're going to see who win this. You hear me? You hear me? I could take a punch from the biggest, swollest motherfucker out here, bro. You hear me? I could take a punch. You know, can you? When I punch back, are you able to bob and weave? You know, that y'all gotta get where I'm going with this. Start punching back. You know, instead of accepting those blows to the face. Don't let this go over your heads, y'all. Okay? Start punching back instead of accepting those blows to the head. The fuck there is no system without us. So fuck the system, because there is no system without us. We are the system. If we stop, there is no system. Don't let that go over your heads. Big Chief, not the little one. Fuck is you talking about? Y'all listen to all that rambling, all that gambling. Ooh, don't let that go over your heads, okay? But yeah, those who really have a voice, y'all look past. Why? Because they don't have the major subscribers and the major followers on their Instagrams and Facebooks and Snapchats and Twitters and all of that. Because they're not at that level, you choose not to listen to that person. But yet that person is speaking nothing but truths. These brothers and sisters out here that y'all tapping in with, that have these major platforms and things like that, they're not delivering anything to y'all based off of their experiences of the life that they chose to live. Everything that they're delivering to y'all, cold pizza, is based off of the words of someone else. They're not reading you their book. They're reading you the book of someone else. But it makes sense to y'all though, right? Dang. Do you have sense? Some people don't have common sense. Common sense. Common sense. Yeah. Right. The system. Whose system? Like I said, I created a system within the system. You hear me? Fuck is y'all talking about? It's my system. Even though there's still a system, I fight that system with my own. You hear me? Fight against the system. How about that? Throw some punches back. Instead of keep getting knocked the fuck out, put to sleep, black eyes, busted lips, busted noses, instead of y'all keep getting all that, beat the fuck up and shit, swing back one time and see I see the results you get from that. Swing back one time. Stop being a bitch. Cause all of y'all being some bitch ass niggas out here right now, getting punched all in the face, slapped and shit, pimp slapped and shit. Fuck grown ass men getting pimp slapped and shit, punched in the eye, not even punching back. Y'all better not let this go over your heads. Y'all bet you have an understanding of what I'm speaking about right now. The system. Whose system? Create a system within the system. Then you'll be able to break the system. Because once you know and get a clear understanding that you are the system, it makes it much easier. Because all y'all talking loudly on the internet, doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that, and still entertaining that. Like you're still helping that be pushed, which is the system that y'all speak so highly of breaking and speak so highly of being outside of, but yet y'all still contributing to it. Read me your book the next time you want to tell a motherfucking story. Make sure it's yours and not anyone else's. I don't listen to history, which is his story. I'm creating my own every day. Every day, I'm creating my own history. I'm giving you something to talk about years from now. I am what to talk about. You hear me? Fuck is you talking about? Man, I look at so much shit that I've presented out here that I've created. What, even my radio show. What the talk about radio? Y'all know why I've created that? Why I even came up with that name? Because it was like a lot of talking going on, but I'm like, what are you actually talking about? You know, what is the talk about? I am what the talk about. Start talking about. Don't let that go over your heads. But you know, it's a lot that I've done, that I've created myself. Nothing that I am pushing out here or ever pushed out here was based off of what someone else was doing or what someone else was saying. Nobody never said, bro, you should do this or you should do that. Bop, bop this or bop, bop that. No, I created this. I created everything that I put my blood, sweat, and tears into. It had nothing to do with the thoughts of someone else. From the names to the flyers to how I choose to present the flyers, all of that is me. I am my biggest fucking fan. I am my biggest fucking supporter. Fuck is y'all talking about? I am talking to the universe right now, the world. There's no one here, but everyone's here. There's no one here, but everyone's here, and you're going to hear. The system. Whose system? Create a system within the system and kill the system. I can't put it to y'all no other way, you know? Okay? Stop listening to the listeners, okay? which is those who have these major platforms and, speak so highly of themselves. Some of them dressed in certain garments and, have chains. A lot of these motherfuckers be looking like the rappers out here, but we ain't gonna talk about it. Driving in the same fancy ass cars, living in the same fancy ass houses and shit, just like the rappers. Y'all kind of remind me of the preachers of the church. And that's no disrespect to all preachers of the church, because they are some good brothers and sisters out there. So this is not towards all, but I'm gonna say 85% of that. Like, a lot of you motherfuckers are looking and acting just like them, but y'all speaking as if y'all spiritually woke, and y'all on a conscious level, so y'all still woke. Like, oh my goodness, y'all not seeing it. I know y'all seeing it, because I see how y'all choosing to move. Some of y'all anyway. A lot of y'all seeing it. A lot of y'all catching it. A lot of y'all have took heed to a lot of Big Chief's words. A lot of y'all haven't. A lot of y'all didn't get y'all clear understandings until y'all started experiencing, which that's the only way you can get a clear understanding, is if you experience these things. Learn life by living it. Stop watching the pictures. Stop entertaining the circus. My apologies. Stop entertaining the circus. Stop being an entertainer of the circus. Stop going to the circus. Yeah. Take control. Unplug your sockets. Take full control of the wheel. Be the driver. Don't be the passenger. Be the driver, don't be the passenger. Okay. Heal from those trials and tribulations, and those damaging things that occurred along your upcoming. Heal from that. Understand that that was all a part of your path as well, and it was all a lesson as well. You learned something from these things. For my women who have been touched or raped or whatever by family members and all of that, man, that was a part of the learning process. You've learned something from these situations, knowing who is who, who's not. That lets you know that being blood related doesn't make you family, when family done that type of fucked up shit to you. Like blood uncles, blood daddies and things touching on the children. What fuck is you talking about? Okay. When it comes to the village, understand who that village is. Sometimes that village has nothing to do with your blood relatives. That village is the village that you created, and that's all those who you chose to connect yourself with, because you felt the genuine love within these people. They are a part of your village, but all of them may not be a part of your village. Some of them might be here to tear down your village. And sometimes it be the ones that are closest to you, the besties, and all of that. Some people envy you because of your power. They see something in you that sometimes you may not even see within yourself. You feel me? You hear me? You feel me? You hear me? I can speak deeply on that too. People play with my name, because I was on a certain level, and they knew that it was no way that they can interfere with me being on that certain level of who I am, So instead of, trying to reach that higher level of self themselves, people choose to try to tear you down. So watch those who you choose to interact with, you know, the people that you choose to keep within your circle, you know. My circle then went from a circle to a dot. Shout out to my brother Wells. Went from a circle to a dot, from a dot to a speck. So it's like I'm living within a speck right now. Not too many individuals can fit within a speck. Actually, that speck may just be you. Like it might be some sprinkles outside of that speck. Don't let that go over you. It might be some sprinkles outside of that speck, you know, that's connected. You got to be on a certain level to understand me. Like I promise you, you do. You know. But for those who didn't catch everything that I've just presented out here, please listen to the playback. You know, there's a lot of gems being presented right now. You hear me? Because like I said, the ancestors speak through me. You know, that's why I speak with so much passion. You know, that like, listen, the whole time I was live, nobody was really here, you know, people. And I shout out to whoever, my brother, my sister, whoever's paying attention right now or listening to me right now. But for the most part, nobody was really here, you know, but yet I spoke as if everyone, the whole fucking world is here right now. The whole world, the whole fucking world is listening to me right now. You know, that one eye right there, that's the program. You know, not saying that you are a part of the program. Get where I'm going with this. You know, that I'm outside of the internet. Enter a net. I spoke about this on my podcast. Internet. You enter a net and become trapped. If you were to enter a net, with, like, let's speak on a spider web. That is a net. If you get caught in a spider web, you're trapped, right? Enter a net. Enter net. Once you enter this shit, you're trapped. When you're consistently watching certain shit every day on YouTube or whatever the case may be, you became a part. You're trapped. You walked into that net and became trapped. Fuck is you talking about? I use these social media platforms to benefit me. Like I've learned some things by moving around within the social media world. I have a clear understanding of how to go about this shit because I know what they're doing. I know exactly what they're doing. That's why I choose not to do anything that to go viral, because that's how most people pages get the numbers. You know, a lot of people pay for it, and then you know you got to do some shit that's going viral. You know what I'm saying? Rather speaking about something within the entertainment world, because that's what a lot of them do, the rappers or whatever weird shit that's going on, the president, the governments, whatever, they choose to speak on that type of shit and tap into that because that's going to draw in the people. Me personally, I never done that. You know, I'm giving y'all my truths. I'm reading y'all my book. I speak based off of my experiences of the life that I chose to live. That's all, and that's it. You hear me? So when if you want to hear some real truths, tap in with Big Chief, not the little one. I label myself that for a reason. I label myself that for a reason. You hear me? I understand my purposes of being here. I'm walking within my truths. Are you? Or are you walking within someone else's? Are you following someone else's paths? Someone else's journey? Are you guiding you, or are they guiding you? Because you could be guided by the words of someone else without even fucking knowing it. I spoke about this years ago. It's people that's being controlled that don't even know they're being controlled. Fuck is you talking about? When I say taking full control of something, self, I mean that. There's brothers that, oh man, I could speak on so much shit from the job to schooling and all that. Like, I really be taking full control of certain shit. You know? Like you are who you are, but I am who I am too. You know? And that's what it is. You're gonna respect this, I'm gonna respect that. And that's what we doing. You know? I'm not here to disrespect y'all positions and none of that. Y'all got to get where I'm going with this. Like I said, the slave ships, the jobs, things like that. I understand your position. I respect that, but you're going to understand mine and respect mine as well. Straight up. So it's like, it's things that I choose not to accept. Point blank period. Because at the end of the day, we men, we women. You have to respect each other as a man, as a woman. Okay? All around the board. And I'm speaking directly to you men and you women. Don't just label yourself as that. Move as that. Conduct yourself as that. Fully, 100%. When you interacting with other brothers or other sisters, you have to present yourself as that wholeheartedly. Like, don't just think that you're grown just because you're a certain age. If you're not doing grown shit, you're not growing. And it's not grown, it's growing. Shout out to my brother King Icon, for presenting that to me. Circle of Gods, peace and love. Shout out to the brothers and sisters. It's called growing. It's not grown, because if you label yourself as a grown man or a grown woman, that means you've done all the work. There's no more growing for you, right? So you're a growing man and a growing woman, because the work never is done. I mean, I'm not going to say never. It definitely can be a time where you've reached that level of life where, you have a clear understanding of everything. You've mastered all of this shit, and you've opened up all your chakras and all of that, For the most part, man, I swear, I'm so far there. I can feel it. I can touch it. I can smell it. I can see it. I can lick it. I can whatever it. Like, I'm like right there. Like right there. You hit me. But, there are still punches being swung. Like I said, man, dodge, weave, dodge, duck, and swing back. Like, I don't know if you were taught the correct way to fight, but no. Okay. But I'm about to close out, man. That was my segment for tonight. I just wanted to give off some energy towards that because, like I said, these are situations that I'm actually dealing with and experiencing within the life that I chose to live. So when I experience things and the universe tells me tap in, I'm going to tap in, you know? And this definitely had to be a making it make sense, because for those who didn't listen, I'm going to listen to the replay. Make it make sense. Everything that I touched on tonight, make it make sense. Because I can't make this shit up at all. This is reality, or what they say is reality, but it's a program. I'm just sitting back watching this shit like, damn. Oh, y'all think I'm gonna fall for that? You stupid motherfuckers. I see that. Kick that out the way. Keep moving. Like, yeah, all right. Don't let this go over your heads. But this was I Can't Make This Shit Up podcast with myself, Big Chief, not the little one, making it make sense. My topic for tonight was the system. Whose system? You hit me. Shout out to my goddess, Aquarius goddess. Shout out to my 3 young star seeds. Big MRMWRW tribe. My tribe. You hear me? Men respect men. Women respect women. Shout out to all my brothers and sisters, that has been tapping in with me, showing love and all that. Shout out to my sis, Crazy Tree Lady. My apologies. She is a part of the show, but of course, everyone has life going on outside of these social media platforms. And I'm someone who have a clear understanding of that. So I never have any feelings towards people who are, taking the time to themselves to do whatever they have to do, and they not really interacting on what we were doing together or whatever the case may be. I've never had any ill feelings towards anyone who chose to move that way, because I know life be life. You don't have to explain anything to me or none of that shit. I know what's going on. The work is still being done. Punches are still being swung. Things are still being thrown directly in your face that you're trying to figure out. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But love is love, man. Like I said yesterday, You know, every time I speak, a seed is planted. You know, pay attention to those who are watering your garden. Pay attention to those who are watering your garden. Like, and a lot of the people who are watering your garden, they the people that you're not even paying attention to. You paying attention to those who kill, like, what kills plants, you know. I don't know, like, you know, me personally, I feel like if the sun is not shining, you know, that can cause plants to die. You know, when different so-called seasons change, you know, that can cause things to happen and things like that. Like, all right, fall, for example, you know, when fall hits, the leaves are falling off the trees, basically dying, but they're not dying. But, you know, I don't know. I just speak on what makes sense to me, you know. But pay attention, close attention to the things that's going on within your life. You know, stop focusing on what everyone else has going on, and focus on your going on. Why don't you get something going on? Get it going? Get it going. Get it going. Instead of you focusing on what's going on with them, how about you get it going? Get it going. All right. You know, a lot of our folks put a lot of energy into what someone else is doing, but yet you're not doing nothing. That's crazy. That's crazy. Focus on the focus, and the focus is you. Anything outside of that focus should not be a focus at all. My words. You hear me? Love those who love you. Respect all except the love that is given. My words. You hear me? Mr. I woke up like this. You heard me? Love is love, man. Stay woke, stay blessed, stay dangerous. Most importantly, stay you. Don't allow anyone outside of you to tell you who you are. You hear me? You are a star. Shine, baby. Fuck is you talking about? You are a star. Shine, baby.
It's a whole lot of talking. Fuck is they talking about though? You heard me? Big MRMWRW Mafia. Come vibe with the tribe. Kirby, what up though?